Hey guys, it's Udi from Udi Audio YouTube channel. I do virtual instruments, plugins, and synthesizers reviews and tutorials. I have a lot of videos about a lot of stuff, so you're most welcome to join the channel and learn. And today I'm going to show you UVI Falcon, which is a very powerful hybrid instrument that includes both synthesis and sampling capabilities. Let's get to know Falcon. All right, let's get started with Falcon. Now, Falcon is huge. You can do a lot of things with Falcon. But before we even get started, let me give you a quick demonstration. Let's hear some of the presets. I'm using the Falcon factory presets here, and we can get started with something rhythmic. So I'm going to just drag this. This will be a program, which I'm just dropping into a part. So we're already learning. Let's hear how that sounds. All right, so it's just, just a basic beat here. But what I can do is I can go and select something arpeggiated, and we'll just get this one, and I'm going to drop it just below here, and going to set the input here to Omni or 1, so the MIDI will play together. Right, and I can add some more stuff. Let's just select something like this gated on wheel, and I'm going to set this also. Right, how cool is that? That's really, really cool. So I can go on and on. I can actually get this one as well. And I'm going to set the MIDI input as well. Right, and I can add some other stuff. I mean, I can go and have like something rhythmic, again, something else, maybe this full fuzz here, and I can go on and on. I mean, this is really, really cool. So I'm gonna do this. So this is Falcon, and let's get started with the actual learning of what is inside and how it works. So in Falcon, we have a structure and we have containers that run things, and the main container is called multi. So what I have here on the left is a multi that contains different parts. Each of these parts will run a program. The program is what you hear. This is the sum of the oscillators, samplers, the different layers, and everything else. So what I'm going to do now, I'm going to just click here and clear the multi, and I can load multis, I can save multis, but of course we don't have a lot of time here to go into every little detail of Falcon. That will take too much time. So right now I have an empty part, and what I can do is I can just start with something simple. Let me show you that. I'm going to just take keys, and just this one, I'm going to drop it in here. So effectively what I'm doing is I'm taking a program and just placing it inside a part. So that's my part here. And as you can see, I have the name here. I have a simple user interface, but if I'll go to edit here, I'll see how it is constructed. And let me just minimize all these guys, and now what we have is the structure, and I can have a closer look at what's happening. So I have an oscillator here. This is a pluck oscillator, and that oscillator is responding to whatever I play on the keys in a key group. So let me give you another view of this. This is the tree view. So in the tree view, I have my master, Then I have some, automations and things like that, for the overall instrument. And then I have part, and I only have one part, and that's part 1. And inside that part, I have layers, and I have the program, and I have everything else. So I have the ballad plucker, that's my program. That's the overall thing that I will be saving. And then I have some just effects here, a couple of effects. And then I have a layer, that's the layer here, layer 1. And inside that layer 1, I have a key group. And then I have my oscillator, and I have some effects. So let's hear how that sounds. How cool is that? So I know it might be overwhelming. I mean, there's a lot of things going on here, but what we can do, because we are, learning here, we can start from scratch, and I'll show you how that works. So I'm going to clear everything, and we'll start from scratch again. I'm going to do a clear multi and go back to the part here. Everything is empty, and as we all know, sound originates in either something that is synthesized, or maybe it is sampled. And here we have on the right, we have some browsing options. We have our sound banks, we have some search capabilities, and then we have our sound sources. And we have two kinds. We have sample based and we have synthesis based. And you can see already that we have granular sampler, we have scrubs, stretch, we have sample, slice, other type of stretch, and so on. And I mean, it's just endless. So that's the sample based things. And then I have synthesis, where I have additive, I have analog. I mean, this is way too much. And then I have wavetable. Let's take the wavetable. So to get started with something, I'll just drag this and drop it on my mapping. And you can see that I can drop it anywhere here. And as I go up or down, I can widen or narrow my selection. So this is where I can just say that all of these keys will be controlling this oscillator, or this wavetable oscillator. So let's play. So it is a wavetable, but it is running just a sine. So clicking here on the corner will give us a lot of choices of all kinds of wavetables. Let's just take this one. And if you know something about wavetable synthesizers, you know that you have an index. So you can see the index here. And let's again review what we have. So I'm going to the tree view, and now what I have here is one layer that is running one key group. That's the whole key group here, and that key group is linked, it is connected to a wavetable synthesizer. So this is already very useful. Another thing that was happening here while we were talking is that in the key group here, that's the key group, we also have an amp envelope. Now, I'm not going into the details of synthesis and all that, but the envelope is controlling how the sound evolves over time. So if I want something that is more plucky, then the attack will be very short. If I want a pad, attack will be longer. So, and again, the release, for example, that will determine what happens when I leave my, just raise my fingers from the keyboard. What happens? Would the sound just, end, or will it linger on? So I can have this, something of that kind. All right, so now we have, again, a recap of what's happening. We have our part, that's our part, and in that part we are running a program. Right now that's the name, new program. I can actually save that. I can save here, save program as, and we call it story1. Just saving that. And if I go to the tree view, I'll see that I have my everything here. That's part. Inside that part, I have one layer. That layer runs a key group, which runs wavetable. But I can also do some interesting stuff at the key group level or at the layer level. And I'll show you later that I can actually add more key groups to the same layer, or I can actually have several layers. So inside each of these levels, you'll see three things most of the time. You'll see effects, you'll see events, and you'll see mod, which are modulators. And I'll show you each one very quickly. So I can go to the effects for the key group and add something interesting. For example, let's add some reverb just for fun. Now, if you look closer, you'll see that some of the effects don't work at that level, and I'm not going into the details exactly why, but I can also add these effects at the higher level, at the layer level, so everything works together. And I can do very simple stuff. I can add just a dual delay just for fun. Let's try that one. Maybe special effects. I don't know. This one, just to try out something new. Right, and I can add more effects. I can have modulation effect like chorus effects. Right, but what I really want to show you is how I'm layering stuff here. So I can do something really cool in Falcon. I can say, right, let's have this key group controlled only at the lower keys, right around here, and I can have another, just another wavetable, for example, or sampler, whatever. I can have just this analog basics. So just drop it here and I can stretch this. And now I have two key groups and I can actually have them overlapping. So it's pretty cool. So now when I'm playing the high keys, then I'll get key group 2 to play in. Then I have key group 1 to control the low keys. Now, if I have a closer look at the tree view here on the left, you'll see that now I have two key groups, and in one of them I have a wavetable, and in the other I have an analog, just a sawtooth oscillator. So I can click this and I can have a closer look at my oscillator here. So this is it. I'm going to just reveal it, and this is what we have. And if you go into the details, there's a lot to learn here. I mean, I can actually change this to anything. I can do this. And again, so now I have one layer that controls or that contains two key groups, and in each one I have completely different thing generating sound. So this is pretty amazing, at least in my mind. And now let me show you another layer of ideas here, which is the modulation. So in synthesis, in virtual instruments, you can automate things. You can take any parameter and change it over time using modulations. And one of these modulations will be LFO, for example. So LFO is a low frequency oscillator, and it will just repeat itself. It's a kind of an engine that helps me to just get things moving. So I'll go back to the wavetable here, and one of the key elements in wavetable synthesis is the index. And so if I want to automate this and I want to have this moving over time, what I can do is I can just right click here. I can do the same thing in different ways, but I'll just right click here and I can add modulation. So I have different modulations. I can have this index be controlled by the velocity. I can have it just controlled by the modulation. Well, let's try that. Modulation wheel, for example. So and what I can do also, I can right click here and do add modulation and have it with the LFO. So I'm going to the internal key group and we'll do just a new LFO. So let's see how that works. So right now I've added an LFO and here it is. It's here. This is the LFO. And let me play something and we'll see how it just moves this index. Right, and I can go on and on. So I have the modulations here. And as you can see, we have different modulations and different parameters. I can also go to the modes here. And this is where I'll see the modulations that I already have. So that's pretty helpful sometimes to just go here to this mode tab and see what's happening. Right, and what I can also do is go back to the part here and right click here, and as you can see I have the different levels. So I have add effects, add event processor, add modulation source, and so on. So I can do a lot of stuff. But here again, this is my Story 1 program. I can right click here and I can add a layer. And when I'll go to this layer, you'll see that it's completely empty. I'll go back to layer 1. You'll see that we have all kinds of things here. So again, layer 1, this is what's happening here. I have the 2 oscillators, I have the 2 key groups. Going to layer 2, well, it's pretty empty. There's nothing going on here. Everything is empty. I can just close this and I can, again, select something like an FM, like, I don't know, this one. And again, I'll just drop it here. And I have another key group called key group 1. So it's key group 1 in layer 2. And I know this might be, you know, way too much for this short intro, but it is part of the idea of layering. So I have 2 layers and I can mix and match them. And I can actually do something like this. I can solo or mute any of the layers here. So I can do this. And I can go at the just layer level here, and I can add some effects, maybe a reverb. Let's use this one. We'll take the shimmer. Yeah, let's do this one. Right, and I can also go back to the key groups and do some other stuff here. So I can go to my key group and let's go to this key group here, key group 2, sorry, to the layer 2, and here I have my key group and I have my spark verb, and I can actually change it. I can do a lot of stuff. I can do just go large to endless. But it's very quiet, so I can actually add some modulation here. I can add like, I can add amp or stereo, drive, dynamics. I can add a maximizer, and I can just drag and drop this. So I can have this. And this is just playing layer 2. So let's have everything together. Pretty cool, right? So now let's do something else just to get things moving here. I can have an arpeggiator or anything else that will automate things in different ways. And let's go back to our part here, and we can go to let's just do it on the layer 2. So now I have 2 layers, and in layer 2 I can go to events, and here I have lots of stuff. I have arpeggiators, I have MIDI players, I have micro tuners, script processors that do a lot of things, corders, scalers. Well, I mean, it's just endless. So I can take just a basic arp or chords, whatever I want, and I can just let's take this one and play. Right, it's pretty cool, and I can actually go and change whatever preset I have here. So this is it, and what else can we do? So that was the effects, and we had a quick look at the events. I can actually add another event, just script processors, analyze chord recognition, just to show you some fun stuff. So I can play, for example, a chord. And I need to take this before. Sorry about that. All right, so it's very, very nice to have all these tools that you can use. You can use Falcon, I mean, pretty much for anything. So just to wrap up things, let me show you just final things. So Falcon can run whatever UVI is doing, whatever libraries they have, but also third party. So if you go to here, in my case, I have lots of banks, and I have some interesting stuff that they have, like pianos or World Suite here, which is cool. So the World Suite is a suite of instruments from all around the world. So I can actually again clear this and show you something real quick. 2 things real quick. I'm gonna show you just how it looks. I mean, I can go and just take let's go back here. I want to have something interesting. I can take this hand pan, this one. Right, so this is the instrument, but if you run it through Falcon, you can actually go to the edit and see the actual representation of the samples. You can see how it works. You can go and see all the layers and everything, and you can actually change it if you want to. And you can add your own effects or processors, whatever. You can do it here. So one last thing that I want to show you is how to use the sampler capabilities here. Real quick, just an example. So again, clearing this multi, and this is the empty part. Nothing is running here, and I can go and select whatever sample. I can bring my own. I can drag and drop. I can use whatever I have, but just because we are here, I can take some vocals, ambient vocals. Let's take this this one, just the first one, and I can addition or not addition it as I will. Right, and I can just drag it here. And if you have your own samples and you want to build your own sample-based instrument, you can do it real quick. I mean, just drag and drop, and then when I'm playing, but you can see that it is bound to just one key. What I can do is I can stretch this like this. And I can play with the envelope, of course. I can add the release. And I can add some delay, just a stereo delay. And I can add some reverb. Spark verb is amazing. I'll do that again. That's pretty cool. And if you want, you can actually add like more gain, or you can use dynamics here. You can have a maximizer, whatever you want, filters, and I mean, it is pretty comprehensive. I mean, there are, I think, just about 90 different effects that you can use here. And you know, from analysis to basic delays, whatever, it's all here. EQs, amps, auto pans. All right, and we can just change the speed or the depth here. And let's add some gain, or yeah, we can do drive. Let's do just this crunchy drive here, and I'll just drag it here. All right, so that is Falcon, and I really hope you enjoyed this one and learned something. And it is an amazing virtual instrument that can do pretty much anything. So that is it for now. And of course, you're most welcome to follow me in Facebook, in Twitter, and in my YouTube channel. And if you have any question at all, please leave comments or contact me. I'll do my best to answer. And that's it. So I'll see you soon. Thank you, and bye-bye.